Shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's been amazing. People have come out, from all over the country who have seen it, have come and said they just they want to see the movie, and I think that's what a good trailer will do, is pique people's interest in seeing the rest of the movie.
What made you go with the screenplay?
It's an original screenplay.
It is.
Both my parents were military. My father was West Point, a lifer. They were both in World War II, and then my dad was in Korea. When I was growing up, the Vietnam veterans came back, and people were spitting on them and calling them baby killers. They called my dad that too, and he wasn't in Vietnam. I was so upset. I said, someday I'm going to do something. I'm going to. I didn't know I'd end up doing this. David and I came here so often because 90 minutes away from LA was a small town that helped us relax. We got to listen to country music, which we love. We're both big fans of Merle Haggard and Buck Owens. And what we noticed was not only were there a lot of homeless people, and people said that's because they actually shipped them to us because this small town takes care of people, the veterans. We started noticing the veterans. I had never experienced Iraq veterans. When I did, this is what they care more about their Vietnam brothers and sisters, because they said we got welcomed home and they have not.
Yeah.
And this is what the movie talks about too.
Yeah, fascinating. How did you come up with the characters? Like, did you have an audition somewhere?
Yeah, well, Lynn wrote the screenplay, and so the characters came out of the screenplay. And then, we had auditions
all across LA. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey. Thanks.
I'm sorry. I'd give you a ride, but I just ran out of gas.
No problem. If I fill up that jerry can for you, would you please give me a ride to the Veterans Hospital? Please.
Okay. Hey, just $5 worth.
It's all me.
Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Sweden.
Right. And it's amazing because I would never have guessed that watching that movie. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's almost
a good actor.
It is amazing. I mean,
You know, I gotta say the accent was not as difficult as the depth of the character itself. You know, so I play this veteran with a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury. You know, very post-traumatic, very disturbed in a sense, very quiet, held together, and so that was probably the hardest part. Not so much getting into the American side of it.
Do you feel like though there's like, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, like you want to feel authentic, right? The last thing you want to do is represent a vet and come off as something that feels like that people will laugh at. Absolutely. Right? I mean, and so. You know, when you're changing your voice, and like you say, I know that's not that big a deal, but reality is it can be, because, you know, a vet may speak a different way or may have a different demeanor, you know, and that you have to figure out, right? And I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've seen the trailer, and from what I've seen, I think you've done it. I mean, like I said, I think most people when they see this are going to be like, whoa, I didn't expect that.
Well, you know what, I have to say that when you are proud of something, it's easier to jump into. You know, if there's something you don't accept in terms of the character's background, it's harder to adapt. It's harder to kind of melt
to fake it. Yeah, you actually believe it, and you believe in what you're doing, and then that makes it.
I believed in it, and we had a lot of Iraq veterans coming to the set and helping us.
Really?
Yeah, he's here. He lives here. He's a Iraq veteran with a TBI, with a traumatic brain injury himself. His name is Julio Torres. Very helpful, and just talking to him, you can't help but to kind of almost become a part of his world.
Right. A lot of people wonder why Oildale. You know, why? You know, it'd been a lot easier for you to. I think it's great. And the reason why is because, you know, anytime anybody sees the word Oildale, I guarantee most people clicked that button thinking they were going to see something they could laugh at.
Right, like a joke.
Like a joke. It was going to be the butt of a joke. And, you know, I kind of think of it like this, you know. Bakersfield is the butt of the joke for a lot of people in California. And Oildale is the butt of the joke for a lot of people in Bakersfield. And the fact that you embraced Bakersfield, because a lot of these, you know, the reality is there's probably a large amount of people that came back to live in Oildale.
Right.
And it's the blue collar working class. Yes, there is some issues that go on there, but you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of hardworking people that live in that community. Did that have a big play into it? I mean, of how you chose?
You know, they say people don't like to watch movies about poor people because it upsets them. This isn't about poor people. They don't have a lot of money, but they've got richness. They've got a moral compass. They care about each other. These kids were raised by their grandpa. That's the generation of sacrifice. And there's a theme running through this of sacrifice. These guys come back, and instead of having Bakersfield and Oildale take care of them, they immediately see children in jeopardy and they start protecting the children.
Yeah.
And then the children in turn protect them. It's a beautiful story.
Right.
I look forward to people's reaction in this town.
Yeah. You know, this house, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say also, yeah, when we were thinking about making the movie, we would be going around town and people said, what's the name of the movie? And we said Oildale, and without exception, people said, what? Why are we calling it that? We had no idea because we're outsiders. I mean, we come to Crystal Palace, dance to Buck Owens, but we didn't know that it had that reputation. So to us, to Lynn and I, it was the home of Merle Haggard, you know, something to be proud of. So.
And the music theme is because this town, to us, has so much talent, not just country, all the different music. And I kept thinking in the inner cities where they get them into basketball, this little town, you got so much talent. Get the kids on stage, get them into contests. They're so talented.
Oh yeah, a lot of.
And great suffering makes great art. Somebody said that. And if there's that suffering here, and that's where Merle Haggard came out. You guys, the world needs your songs. We need to hear from you.
Yeah, a lot of talented people here. Let's show them the backside because you actually did some of the work on the other side of the building, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let me do it. Let's follow you. I'll follow you guys over there. Let's go check it out. Now, what was this house originally? Do you know much about the history of this place?
Great story about the location on this. We were scouting and we were trying to find a house that was in the oil fields.
Okay.
And those that used to exist, but they don't exist anymore. At least that's what we were told. And we looked and looked and couldn't find anything. Finally, we were in Dwar's ice cream meeting with Mike Dwar and mentioned that, I'm sorry. Lauren Knowles at the Film Commission said there might be a house out on Highway 65. You should check that house out. Yeah. We drove out here, we looked at it, and said that's the house.
Yeah, you just spoke to you,
right? Wrap-around porch, built back in the 20s or 30s, whenever it was. It's tin-sided, you know, it was the perfect house. We didn't know who owned it, so then we set out on a journey to sort of see if we could get the location.
Right.
And we were introduced to the house's owner, Jason Louie, the Louie family, through Mike Dwar. And he came right out, met us, heard about the story, and said, listen, you guys, we want to just give you the house. Anytime you need, here are the keys, here's the security, whatever you need, you know, it's yours for however long you need it.
Wow,
so
that's
we want to just
cool.
thank them. We had so much support from the local community.
It's such a huge backdrop to the movie. I mean, it really speaks, you know, I mean, it really, did you feel like that? Like, I mean, it really sets the stage, right, of like what we're dealing with here.
The mysterious version would be that they were looking for something as isolated as could be, and you can't find anything as isolated as anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you could build
Anything
this.
else is all urban.
Right.
You couldn't be able to shoot anywhere. So they wanted to get the impression of these young kids, which you'll hopefully see the movie. You'll see there's just the movie gives you this feeling that this little girl and her little brother are alone in the world, right? How could you get that from I don't know, a house in LA, an apartment in LA, for example? The location itself gives you that feeling, gives you that emotion that these kids are alone in the world.
Right.
And they need that help.
And Gramps and that family came from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
My mom came from Oklahoma. They came here, Dust Bowl, and they came here and they settled. They went to war, they came home. This is a small town. There's a line in there, and a Hollywood producer looked at it, and he said, that's the one I like. And the little boy goes, I want to live here till the day I die. And he said, that's so unusual, because everybody's always showing stories of how you want to get out of small towns. He said, that speaks to the heart of small towns that take care of their own, and the kids want to stay there.
Yeah.
And that's here.
Right.
The other fun story is we took a look inside. Jason Louis showed us the inside, and it was an office before this, so it wasn't a home. I'm sure people have lived in it at some point, but we knew that we had to dress it as a home, as a set. So Lynn and I spent months up here going through thrift shops. We also had a lot of help from local Oildale thrift shops.
Was it actually a working set? I mean, on the inside, were you guys working?
Inside
you were.
and out.
It was.
You could sleep in there if you wanted to. The bathrooms were fun.
You guys did the shooting in there too?
Yeah.
Oh,
No
absolutely.
kidding.
Yeah, it was
Oh, it's
12
not
days
just outside.
here.
I thought it was just on the porch.
12 days
Wait till
here.
you see, because our set designer performed a miracle. They made that place look like a lived-in home.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we could show it to you, but it looks like an
It's
office
just
again, because we
white
had to
walls with
repaint it when we left. So we did it
Wow.
all ourselves, and
Wow.
But
with
again, if we can
great
thank
production.
the Tim Louis family, and Jason especially, for coming up and talking to us, telling us about his love for film,
Yeah.
hearing about the story, he hadn't read it, and he said, yes, you can do this. I mean, the sense that these people, I guess it's our hearts to theirs, they were just listening and they said yes.
They want to see it succeed.
Well, and it will, because of this town held us in its arms. Bakersfield Oildale is proud of us. We're proud of them. We love Bakersfield. The people that showed up, 400 the very first day we shot, when you see their reactions, they were the best actors in the whole thing, because they were so sincere in the reactions. The director, of course, had a lot to do with telling them, but I mean, thank you, Bakersfield.
Right.
Thank you.
If you know, but a key figure for these guys is Mr. Rick Davis. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Rick Davis. He's the father of Jonathan Davis, lead singer of Korn.
Wow.
So he's the head of Fox Theater, and he's been instrumental.
Wow.
Thank you. He actually collected friends, real musicians, and they are on stage, and then there's playback and everything. They practice the exact music on their instruments. And a lot of people kept going, if it didn't look real, they stood there for 12 hours with him shouting orders at them, and these were musicians, and they didn't blink. They stood there and they did this over and over again. I mean, this town is made up of such professional people, caring people, creative people, and then the judges are people that are also well known. So Rick's wife, Lily Davis, also stepped in, became the head judge, and then gave us 5 judges. One of was she. You're going to see that you're going to recognize a lot of people in this, but I guess doing it quietly was the right thing to do.
Well, we didn't try to do it quietly, but I think the Fox Theater put it out on their social network that we were shooting, and we didn't know how many people were going to show up, and I think 300 or 400 ended up showing up.
Incredible. Yeah. Let's wrap around the front here, and we'll just take a look. Now, you didn't paint any of this outside, right? This was already like this.
We love
this is as is. Yeah. Because it's interesting, because it's tan on the front, or the other side. I don't know what side because of the front, and then it's blue back here. Now, this is the scene where you had most of it was shot right here, right?
Yep, right in these corners. So yeah, we love the outside. I love the look. The color scheme was beautiful. We have an old 67 Ford pickup truck with the same blue on it.
Really?
We found that through Rick Davis well.
Yeah.
And just loved the whole porch, because Lynn wrote the script with there's a theme of rocking chairs on the porch. We start the movie with Gramps looking at the passing of an era. And in fact, I'll point out that one of the things I loved the most was, see that oil derrick in the distance?
Yeah.
That is the oldest surviving oil derrick in the county. And
wow.
It's right here. And
history right there.
To the director of photography, let's see if we can get that in as many shots as we can, aside from the other oil derricks. But that's significant to me. It sort of ties back to the whole passing of a generation. Gramps is on the porch a lot. When the veterans show up, they also take rocking chairs on the porch. So the porch is a very significant part of the story.
It's a healing. They're trying to heal themselves.
Yeah.
We want to help them heal. I wrote this for my parents, but every veteran out there, not only...
It's going to mean something different for every person.
Absolutely, and not only in this country, because the first AD, Tanya, I can't remember, sorry, her last name, you can say, she's from the Ukraine. And she read the script and she said, let me tell you, the soldiers in the Ukraine feel the same way. They're tired, they're coming home, and people don't know what to do. So all around the world, we're sending people out for whatever reason the wars are being fought, and they're coming home and they're not being cared for. We're human beings. We all need to care. And this country needs to really pay attention and care, make sure our men and women are
It's such a hot topic right now, too, about taking care of the vets. I mean, you know, and not only
Thank goodness.
Well, you know, the thing is Bakersfield has, well, a lot of cities do, but Bakersfield has a very high homeless rate, and a lot of those people are veterans. You know, it's just sad, but it's true. I mean, you can't ignore it, and you know, this kind of movie kind of brings awareness to that. I think, well, you know, of how hard it is for some of these guys, especially later on in life. You know, I mean, when they have to deal with it, and they just, you know.
The Vietnam vets are still on the street. We were told, oh no, we took care of them by a high up in Washington D.C. No, they're still out there, and they're still suffering. And as the Iraq vets taught me, they have not been welcomed home. They are suffering still.
Yeah.
And we need to take care of them, yes.
So let's get into where you hope this gets into. I mean, you know, the thing is, when you watch it, it has an independent film look to it at first, but it also has something that looks like it could be on the big screen. Like I'm talking, you know what I mean? Like it could be a Hollywood production. It's right there on that board. It's like, so it's kind of interesting. Where do you want to see this thing go?
Right there, to the top.
To the top, right?
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, do you think this thing will get into Sundance? I mean, are you trying to get it into, where are you trying to get it?
It's going to get into film festivals for sure, but we would like to take it across the country. It's called the Heartland Tour, and we decided that we're not going to premiere it in anywhere other than Bakersfield. So our premiere is on the 30th.
It's a one-day premiere here?
One day.
Wow.
It's the
Is it sold out?
World premiere.
It's getting there.
It's getting to be sold out.
People should buy their tickets if they want to.
Is it just going to be one showing? I mean, you have one chance to see it?
Yes.
Oh man, I gotta get me some tickets here. I didn't know that.
So, and we feel that there was no other place that we would rather premiere it than, of course, the place where we shot it in Bakersfield. So we're at the Fox Theater on the 30th, and after that, we're going to take it on the Heartland Tour, and we're going to go into small towns across the country and show it small towns and big cities. Whoever
raise
will.
funds for their local veterans groups. We went, and Wendy has said, Wendy Porter of Wounded Heroes, this is a local organization, you know, I said, can we throw people towards you if they don't know how to organize? Yes. She wants to help everybody. I know, it's so amazing. And the other beneficiary is going to be the Fox Theater Foundation, because they helped us so much. Do you think they charged us what they could have charged us to shoot in that film? They put the heat on. They took care of us too, and that's Rick Davis. Go back to Rick Davis. We can't even list all the things Rick Davis has done, because this whole premiere wouldn't be happening there without Rick Davis. Okay,
right.
So Rick Davis.
You think this thing will ever end up on a Netflix or something? I was going to ask you. I don't. Eventually, would you hope?
Sure, we have interest. We have distribution interest, but we want to really do this organically from the ground up.
Take it on the tour, yeah.
And raise money for veterans organizations across the country.
When you make a film for Hollywood and somebody gives you money to make the film, the reason we chose to use our own money and then people came toward it for the script and they wanted to make it this quality is because now we are in control. Nobody can take it away from us.
Yeah, that's neat.
So that's why we can do a lot.
I was say making a movie, even on an independent level, isn't the cheapest thing, right? It nickel and dimes you to death.
No,
I mean, whatever you start with, you might as well just start adding some extra money on, right? It's never what you think it's going to be. You never really come under budget, right? On this.
And I'd love to say something about that too, because when we decided to make the movie, we knew we had to self-finance, and we didn't have a lot of money. It's what Hollywood might call ultra low, or even off that scale. It's very, very low. But we knew that we could do it if we had support from the local organizations, locations, etc. And we got that in spades from Bakersfield and Oildale. I mean, people came out like Rick Davis, Wendy Porter. All these local groups came out, and it's the only way that we could have made a movie like this. It looks like a very, like you said, a high-budget Hollywood movie, and it does, and it is.
The editing is unbelievable. I mean, like just like the way the film looks, and I can tell there's a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
We also got some cooperation from our connections in Los Angeles, who gave us a lighting package probably worth $1 million, and we had to hire someone just to stay here to watch it.
Yeah.
We had lighting people that we had worked with previously on a higher level that came in. Again, they said, I need a break from the big things I'm doing in LA, and they loved coming here, and they worked with us 6 days a week, and I won't tell you what they were paid because we can't do that because
Yeah.
it was so unbelievable. They came with their hearts. They worked so hard. Everybody was on time. Everybody did their job. This is an amazing director. He is an actor's director who also understands all the technical stuff. He brought a DP on who is like 26.
Wow.
Came from Minnesota. And these two are a team that you're going to see in the future.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, you can't make a good movie without good acting talent, and we have that. And this is one of them right here,
Absolutely.
Cyrus, who
Yeah.
really.
I have a feeling he's going to have a big fan base after this deal.
I
We'll
think
see
so.
in Bakersfield.
And well, we'll see. I think it's going to be bigger than Bakersfield, to be honest
I
with you.
hope so.
Yeah.
No, I would love it. I'm very proud to be a part of this project.
Right.
Very proud. I mean, the fact that, and Lynn has mentioned it before, the fact that they shot this movie in 12 days, something that would take a Hollywood.
Are you serious? 12 days for this whole thing?
It was insane.
They can't even get sets set up in 12 days.
I swear to God,
Right.
it takes 12 days to location scout for something.
Wow.
There's a higher power surrounding us. The way people came together and how we did that, there's like a loving energy that is lifting us. I didn't know when I wrote that this whole thing, people were going to start focusing on veterans. It came from my heart. David and I blended. We brought actors who cared, everybody, and then this town just took us in their arms and lifted us. This town allowed us to make this film because we couldn't have done it elsewhere. And yes, you see it on the screen. Nobody could make it for millions it would cost, but these hearts came together and made it. And we're grateful to Bakersfield and Oildale and Rick Davis and Wendy Porter and everybody here. We're so grateful because we feel like we call it a film family, and we feel like this is our family. When we go out across on our Heartland Tour to 50 states, they're coming with us.
Yeah.
It's going to say Wounded Heroes of Bakersfield. The Bakersfield people sent us out with this message.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, man, you guys definitely did an awesome job here. I can't wait to see it. I know there's a lot of people gonna be lining up. I'm gonna get my tickets before I post this because I know as soon as I post this, people are gonna be flooding out. Are gonna be sold out because
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man.
That's
We
very.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you might tell people if they don't get tickets that they might call the theater and say, I can't come that night, or I'd like to see.
We'd like to see a second show.
And they might ask us, and if they do, we're not going to say no. Bakersfield, thank you so much.
Very good. All right. Well, congratulations on all that. I can't wait. All right. There you go.
Thank you, Willis.
All right. This is Billy at Bakersfield.